Well, SunWorks just wrapped up a little while ago, and I got the system installed anyway. It looks good. They did a pretty good job of that. I like these. The systems seem to, when they're in a garage, they seem to always come away looking like they belong there. So that's kind of cool. But so what are some of your views so far on the install itself and the time frame? They got it in pretty quick for you guys.
Took them about 3 days. There was a little problem with the roofing, the tiles themselves, but that slowed them down a little bit. But I mean, it just took longer to put the panels up than they thought.
Yeah, that roof.
Get it done. They did bring from the outside. They completely removed our electrical inside here, which was a bit more of a chore. But the rest of it went together quite well. Like I say, it took about 3 days, and now we're just waiting for the county to come out and do the inspection and SMUD, and then we'll be able to turn it on and see how we're doing and that kind of stuff. They've tested everything, and at this point, everything seems to be fine.
So from nose to tail, how long did it take? Maybe like 6 weeks, 8 weeks, something like that? How long?
You mean from the time we ordered it?
Yeah.
Oh, no. It was, what was it, maybe a month and a half, something like that.
Okay, good.
The only thing we were waiting on was the batteries, and they had, SunWorks had a allocation or whatever from Tesla on the batteries, and it was just a couple weeks after we told him to go ahead that the salesman called and said he had 2 batteries for us.
Excellent.
And, like I say, it was none of this 6 month waiting.
Right. So. Well, they've been installing quite a few of these, and so I think that's it works very similar to like a car dealership, where the more you sell, the more they allocate to you. And so that's one of the things too that's been real important for folks, that if you're going to get that self-generation rebate, or if you're going to, like you said, the tax rebates are set to diminish in, when was that?
January 1, they go down to 26%.
Yeah. And so for folks that are hoping to kind of get these in, one of the things that we've been seeing is that the installers, some of the installers, have been saying, oh well, you can't get the rebate anymore. Well, I'm finding that that's not exactly true. They're saying that because they can't get the batteries, and if they can't get the batteries in time, then
maybe they want to sell you something else.
Exactly. The old salesman thing of sell them what you have, not what they want, right? But yeah, outstanding. So it went well. They had a little bit of an oops upstairs.
In the house where the guy fell through the roof. He actually didn't fall through. He just stepped his foot off the beam up there. Yeah, well, those kind of things happen. But, they're taking care of that, and like I say, they did a great job. Very. I mean, there was probably 6, 8 guys running around here, and it was like everybody knew what they needed to do, and they were, really well organized.
Definitely not their first rodeo.
No, definitely not. No,
and so I want to explain one thing too here. So Lee's install differs a little bit from the install that we had done and the install that you just saw with Tomas, in that both Tomas and I already had solar installed already, and because of that, we had an arrangement with our utility company so that we're already allowed to export power. So when our batteries were installed, you get something that's called a PTO, or permission to operate. Well, because we already had a permission to operate our solar systems and we were already grid tied, when they installed the batteries on, they just kind of, they turned the batteries on, and the system was actually operational. But because you guys don't have that, you installed the solar and the batteries at the same time, your PTO actually involves these guys, and so you're not quite up and running yet.
You have to wait for the county has to come out and inspect, and then SMUD to come out and inspect. And once everybody's inspected and they're happy, then I guess SunWorks will actually physically turn the batteries on from their office. And we've already got the Tesla app going, so we can already see where it was. When we turned the power off a little while ago, we could see that the power was coming out of the batteries and going into the house. There was no drop in power or anything there. And you know, when you turn the main breaker back on, then it shows that the power's coming off the grid.
Fantastic. So you going to invite us back after you've lived with it for maybe a couple of weeks after the PTO?
Sure.
Outstanding.
See how we're actually doing and whether we got enough up there or not. I mean, we've got 29 panels and hopefully that'll produce enough power. We're hoping to be off the grid, so that, not off the grid actually, but I mean so we can maintain our own, produce enough power that we don't have to use grid power unless in maybe an emergency or something like that at some point. But yeah, we've swung everything over, and actually with the controllers or whatever that we've got here, they can actually handle quite a bit more panels on the roof.
Yeah.
And that, and we've got the setup there for
the electric vehicle.
The electric vehicle. So when we add that, we're probably going to add at least 2 more batteries. And that's a question. Can you put 3 batteries out, or is it 2?
I believe you can. Again, you'd have to. That's something you'd probably have to speak with them. I mean, obviously, you know, you've got enough room.
We got room for 2 more, yeah. And if we could go with 6, or go 4 more, and come up 3 deep or whatever. If not, we'll figure something else out.
Well, you probably can. I've seen this. I believe I've seen one installation where they went 3 deep on a slab on the side of a house, and so I don't see why it wouldn't be. I don't see why it wouldn't be possible to do that.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, outstanding. Well, we look forward to coming back and seeing what you think once the system's up and running.
Yeah. Well, we really appreciate your advice and your videos and all that. I mean,
it's my pleasure.
Really helped me make the right, hopefully the right decisions. I think we're happy at this point. Give us a month or so, we'll see.
Yeah. That's going to be the important piece is when after you've lived with it for a while and see how it matches up. Right. And again, that's really the important thing that everybody else is going to want to see too, because as we start moving forward with these, what folks really want to see is that variability, that looking at the different types of installs. Tomas's house is one way, your place is another. We're going to be doing another install in the Bay Area of a place. I don't know whether he's got a condo or an apartment, but he's going to actually be installing 3 on a much smaller home. And so that will give us a real interesting way to kind of measure this against a variety of different use types. And so I think folks will find that to be very very helpful, because the Energy Sovereignty Project, it kind of lays it out bare, but if your home doesn't match exactly what we're doing, then there's always that kind of bit of a guesswork. And so the more folks that they can see with various types of installs, I think the more help that will be to everybody. So that's fantastic that you're letting us see what you got going.
Okay.
So we'll cut it off here. We got some construction going on in the background. So
well, yeah, thank you so much.
Oh man, my pleasure. My pleasure.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I think I need it.